Hey everyone, welcome back. So in the continuation of our last video, we created basically a Redshift cluster. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna be loading data and querying those data and understanding them. So if you remember the PostgreSQL tutorial, that was our first tutorial. If you haven't watched it, I recommend you to watch that and understand that because that is really important. Those are the fundamentals. Okay, if you don't know the fundamentals, then you cannot understand all these things. Okay, so make sure you go and understand the PostgreSQL and all those things, how to connect with the Python and everything, because in this video we're going to be doing exactly that. And if you haven't done that, then you won't be able to understand anything. Okay, so what we're going to do, if you have, I assume that you have already gone through that, so I'm just going to copy this particular thing and show you over here. So we're going to be using basically the psycopg library. So to connect the Redshift cluster, you can literally use anything. We just need these parameters such as data warehouse endpoints, then database name. These things we already defined over here. Okay, so db name and all these things, endpoint and everything. Then db user, then the password, I'm just providing password over here like this. I can basically fetch the password over here from this the thing which we defined on the top. Okay, the db password, but I'm just providing this thing over here, and the port. Okay, so this is basically I'm just making connection with our database, and I'm just setting the auto commit as true. Okay, now if you remember why we said this is because to commit all the our transaction. Okay, now I'm gonna be creating a cursor for that. Okay, if you have done this first tutorial, then you will know what cursor is. Cursor is we basically use to execute query onto the Redshift or the database. Okay, so now if you already went through this particular database, okay, the files which we created, I've already created the data model for that because we already talked about how to create data model on our fundamental series. So I again recommend you to watch that. Okay, if you haven't watched that, and then continue with this. So what I'm gonna do, I've already created that, so I will just copy this query. I've written this, and this is the table structure of the user table. Okay, so there is a user file which is okay, all users pipe. Okay, this is the user file over here. So I'm just gonna be, this is the structure of that. I can show you if you want. Yeah, so as you can see, this is our all user pipe file. Okay, so the delimiter, okay, delimiter, generally if you know the CSV file, it has comma. Okay, but in the user file, this particular database has the delimiter as the pipe. Okay, so the delimiter can be depending on the data and all the sort of thing, it can be different. So in this file format, we have the delimiter as the pipe. It can be tab, it can be comma, it can be dollar value, anything, literally anything. All those things should not appear in the data. So let's say if it is the dollar value, okay, and if there is any kind of a what you say, the amount value such as this 442 something kind of dollar, then it will consider this thing as a delimiter too. So you need to select the delimiter as it is quite unique. Okay, so I'm not gonna mess with this particular file. Okay, I'm just gonna keep everything as it is. So you see, understand the file. I've already created the structure for this particular file over here, and I'm just gonna create table, and it will basically create this particular table over here. The same way I've done for all the other things such as the venue. Okay, and the same way I'm just gonna do for all the other things. So I have all the tables available over here with the all the data type and everything. Now what I suggest you guys is first read all those data and create a data model for that. And so create the architecture of the data model. So when you create your GitHub profile, you should be able to put all those kind of architecture to showcase properly everything you have done. So first create the data model and then create this particular kind of the query. Okay, I've already skipped that part because I've already done that all many times, so I don't want to bore you guys with the same thing again and again. So but for your practice, I recommend you to do that. Okay, now back to the video. We have the table ready. Okay, we have the data on the S3. What we're gonna do, we're gonna be loading that data from S3 to Redshift. Now the syntax is quite same. Okay, this is the copy command is a query. Okay, so we're gonna be doing execute same execute. Okay, then we're gonna be writing multiple line query. Okay, so this is the syntax for that. And let me just copy the exception over here. Okay, now if you remember the last two videos we discussed on our PPT, that the copy command, and the syntax for copy command is this is copy, then you provide the table name. So over here, what was our table name? Which was users. Okay, so users is our table name. This is users. Okay, from, then you need to provide the path from the file where you need to upload the data. So this is the user pipe. Okay, file, text file. So I'm just gonna copy the S3 URL. Make sure you copy this particular URI S3, or you can click over here to copy that particular URI. You don't need this particular object URL, you need URI. Okay. So I'm just gonna click this. My voice is broken. Wow. Then I'm just gonna provide the credentials. So credentials. Okay, inside the credentials, now our IAM comes. Okay, so IAM, let's go to IAM role. Okay, the ARN access, I've already talked about. This is the unique URL to our IAM role. So what we are telling basically Redshift is that copy inside the user from this particular file. Okay, this is the credential. So I'm telling you that I have the access, you have the access to this particular S3 bucket that I've already created using the role. So I'm just going to provide this particular access identifier. So I will copy the ARN from this particular role. Let it load. Yeah. So this is our ARN. I'm just going to copy it and I'm just going to paste it. Okay, inside the single quote. Now I need to provide the delimiter. This is basically, if you remember, it was pipe. Okay, this is the pipe sign. So if you remember, inside the file we had the delimiter as pipe, and I need to provide the region. Okay, I'm just provide the region. If you know, our region is AP South 1. Okay, I'm just going to copy this. I'm just going to paste it over here. Okay, and hopefully this runs. Yeah, okay, running. So I need to provide this particular AWS IAM role, okay, over here as a parameter to run this particular thing. Now let's see. Okay, so our data has been copied from the S3 to Redshift. Now what we can do, we can basically do the same things from all the buckets. So what I want you guys to do these things. Okay, so as we did for this particular thing, all users pipe. Okay, I want you guys to do for all the other things such as venue, category, everything. For now, what I'll do, I'll just display you the data. So I know you guys already know this, but I'm just gonna, if you have done the first thing, you already know this, but what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna copy this particular thing. You can just copy it, paste it, remove this particular thing, and just write select star from users semicolon. Okay, and just run this. Okay, now this particular thing has successfully executed. Now what we need to do, all the data which we got from this particular query, we're gonna be displaying that data. Okay, so let me just open up the previous code because I don't remember the syntax, and this happens. Okay, you don't remember everything because you need to, that's why you need to have some kind of the backup and the documentation stored, so in the future if you forget anything you can always go back. So this is the syntax: cursor fetch 1. Okay, this will give us the fetch first row, and in the while loop we are gonna just keep fetching all the other rows and just print it. As you can see, this is the data from the Redshift, and this is a lot of big data. Okay, so I should have stopped this because it is basically displaying everything. And wait, I need to, let's just break it. Okay, so I don't want to display all these things, so I'm just gonna print the first row. Yeah, I should have done that just with the fetch 1 row, but let's see. And we can do the same thing over here. So let's go to Redshift. Okay, print क्यों नहीं किया भाई? Let me do this. Just print 1 row. None. Execute. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is what we get. This is the kind of a 1 row from the data. So this is all the information. We can do the same thing. You already know that we can basically connect to Redshift. Okay, we can go to this editor, connect to this particular database, and run the same query and execute the same database. Okay, so this is our different data. So let's connect to the my Redshift cluster. Database name was, what was the database name? DB name, my first DB user, what was the DB user? AWS user, then connect. It will basically connect to the Redshift cluster that we created. Then over here you should be able to see the tables on this. So we have the table name, what was the table users? Okay, this was the user table. Yeah, so select star from users and run it. You should be able to see what. Okay, select. Yeah. Okay, so you should be able to see the query is running. Okay, currently it is running on the one node, so it is gonna take some time to run the entire data, and this data is quite big also. So let's wait for that, and till then what we're gonna do, we're gonna be looking into the further side of the code. So this entire code, what we did, we created the cluster, we connected to the AWS, then created the table name, all those sort of things, then VPC and everything, and inserted the data. Okay, so this thing does everything. You don't need to put everything inside the one code, but you can basically divide this code, such as creating cluster in one part of the code, then creation of the table and all the other things inserting inside the second part of the code, and you can use that way. Okay, then now what we need to do, we need to basically close the connection, because it is really important that you close connection. So this is basically connection dot close. Is it still running? Yeah, it's executed. Yeah, so as you can see, all this data which we created, it's available over here. These are all the rows, and let me just go up over there. Yeah, the username, first name, last name, city, state, email, etc. Okay, now we're gonna be deleting our cluster. Okay, that is really important. Same thing, just like the create cluster on the top. Yeah, the create cluster, we have the delete cluster. You can go to this particular documentation if you want to see delete underscore cluster. Okay, so this is the delete cluster. So it takes cluster identifier. This is basically a cluster name. Okay, then skip final cluster snapshot. So if you want to create a snapshot or not, and these are all the other things. So if you want to create a snapshot, then you can provide all the other parameters. So what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna paste this particular thing. So Redshift delete cluster, our cluster identifier, and final snapshot as false. I don't want this snapshot. Okay, yeah, skip. This is basically skip. So yeah, true. So it should be true. Sorry. Yeah. Now this is basically deleting our final cluster. So now if you go over here, cluster, and reload this, it should be into the deletion phase. So now it is deleting our cluster. So this was the entire Redshift basic exercise. Okay, we're gonna be doing the entire project in our next video basically, because we have like one more thing to understand, which is basically distribution and the sorting key. So in the next video we will be understanding in detail what are the different distribution key and the sorting key. And after the video, that will be our last video of this particular series, is we will be creating the entire end-to-end Redshift project. I'll see if I want to do the live stream for that, or how I want to do that, but I'll do that end-to-end project over there, and that's it. So I hope you understood this particular thing. If you find it difficult, then watch this video again to understand it. You can watch all the other videos, such as for the VPC and all these things, to understand those services also, and play with the UI. Okay, so understand the UI, understand how the different button works and everything, so that you will get the more understanding of this thing. And if you have any issues, then you can join the Discord channel and understanding it. My voice is broken, so I'm just gonna take a break, because I've been doing tutorials from quite long time. So see you in the next video. Thank you.